You may have applied for scholarship before, maybe once, maybe twice, or 5 times, maybe more than you are willing to admit to people around you. And every time you sit down to write another statement of purpose, there is this heavy feelings of combination of hope and fear because you've been here before and it didn't work out. I want you to hear me clearly today. You are not chasing something unrealistic. You are chasing something that takes time. Every single person who has ever won a competitive scholarship, the Chevening, Commonwealth Scholarship, Fulbright, MasterCard Scholarship, Gates Cambridge, every single one of them sat exactly where you are sitting right now, uncertain, trying, and hoping. The only difference between them and someone who gave up is that they wrote one more application. The difference is they refined one more essay, and the difference is they tried one more time. And today I'm going to give you the tools you need to make that next application your best. Because the truth is, your story deserves to be told well. And after this video, it will definitely be told well. So pick a pen and a diary. Let's get started. What is an SOP or statement of purpose, and why does it matter so much? First, let's make sure we are on the same page. A statement of purpose, also called a personal statement, a motivational letter, or letter of intent, depending on the scholarship, is a written document where you explain who you are, why you want this opportunity, and what you plan to do with the opportunity or the scholarship. Simple on the surface, right? Devastatingly difficult to do well in it. Very, very difficult. And here is why it matters so much. Your academic transcript shows your past. Your CV lists your achievements. But your SOP or statement of purpose is the only place in your entire application where you get to speak in your own voice with your own words directly to the people deciding your future or the opportunity for you, right? The SOP or the statement of purpose is for why out of thousands of applicants, you are the right person for the scholarship or you are the right person for the opportunity to be given to. And for many international students especially, students who may not have the most perfect CGPA or GPA, or students who do not study at global recognized universities, the SOP is where you level the playing field. It is where your resilience, your context, your vision, and your humanity comes through in a way that numbers simply cannot capture. A mediocre SOP from a 4.0 student loses to a powerful SOP from a 3.0 student more often than people can admit. And that is just the fact. That is how much this document really, really matters. Before I teach you how to write a great SOP, let me show you what a bad one looks like so you can recognize if you've been doing it the wrong way in your previous application. I call this the 5 deadly sins of a bad SOP. And sin number 1 is the generic opening. For example, an opening line could be like, I have always been passionate about development economics since I was a child. No, 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 stop. That sentence have been written by approximately 4 million people. It tells the reviewer nothing specific about you. It creates zero emotional connection and it wastes the most precious real estate in your entire application. This opening line is very poor. Now, sin number 2 is summarizing your CV. Your SOP is not a prose version of your CV. Yes. Listing your achievement in paragraphs from I graduated with a second class upper, I then worked at XYZ company for 2 years. I also volunteer at ABC organization. It's not an SOP. It is a biography and it is deeply boring. So scene number three is your plans. And for example, it could say, I hope to use this scholarship to make difference in my country. How? Which sector? What specific problem? What is your plan? Right? Are you getting this? Are you understanding this? So these are some of the weaknesses in your SOP that is making your reviewers or committee to keep rejecting you. So let's move on to scene number 4, which is writing for every scholarship. The applicant who writes one SOP and submit it to 15 different scholarships without changing a word is just gambling. Every scholarship has a different mission. Every scholarship has a different mission. Every scholarship has a different values, different ideal candidates. A one size fits all SOP fits nobody perfectly. So these are some of the mistakes you'll be making in your previous SOP writing that makes the committee to keep rejecting you, right? So let's move on to scene number 5, and it is no personal voice. Now, if your SOP sounds like it could have been written by anyone, or if there is no personality, no texture, no human warmth in the writing, it will not be remembered, and in a pile of thousands, forgettable means rejected. And these are some of the mistakes that students make while writing their SOP that keeps pushing the committee away from picking them or selecting them among the successful ones. And I believe you are learning your mistakes from this particular video. Now, let's talk about what a winning SOP actually looks like. I want to introduce you to a framework I called the bridge method, because that is exactly what a great SOP is. It is a bridge between who you are today and the opportunity you are asking for. Each letter in bridge stands for one essential section of your SOP. So now let me take you through the framework so you can understand it better. For the word bridge, we start from letter B, which means beginning with a bang. Your opening paragraph is everything you have, and I mean this literally, because you have about 30 seconds to convince a tired, busy reviewer that your application deserves their full attention through your first paragraph. In those 30 seconds in writing form is very, very difficult. So how do you open with a bang? Use a scene, a specific moment, a single image. Not, I have always been passionate about public health. Your opening should do these three things. Number one, describe a defining moment that shaped your purpose. Two, open with a striking fact or observation relevant to your field. And three, pose a powerful question that your entire SOP will answer. Start with a story, and start with something that only you could have written. So let's go to letter R, which stands for roots, your backgrounds, and your motivation. Now, after your powerful opening, transition into the context of who you are and where your passion comes from. This is your this is your life story. This is the origin story of your purpose. Why this field? Why now? What experience? Is it personal? Is it professional, or is academic? Which of these led you to this exact moment? And which of these led you to this exact application? This is where your African context becomes your strength. The challenges you have witnessed, the gap you have identified, the problems that keeps you up at night because you know you are one of the people positioned to solve them. Be specific. Tell them the real story. That is a motivation. That is a root. That creates a reason for everything that follows in your SOP. Keep this section focused and make sure it's between 1 to 2 tight paragraph maximum. And the next letter is letter I, which stands for impact. This is where you prove that you are not just a dreamer, you are a doer. Scholarship committees don't just want to fund potentials, they want to fund demonstrated ability. They want evidence. And that's when you say you want to create a change. You have already started but could not complete due to limited resources. And also in this section, you will highlight 2 to 3 of your most relevant experiences. Not everything on your CV, but the ones that directly connect to the scholarship goals and your stated purpose. And here is a key. Do not just list what you did. Show the impact of what you did. Not I work as a program coordinator at a health NGO. No. But you can say something like, as a program coordinator, I designed our community outreach model, which increased patient screening participation by 40% across 3 local government areas in 6 months. Numbers, outcomes, and be specific. And that is what impact stands for. Even if your experience feels small, a campus initiative, a local volunteer project, a community program, frame it with impact language. What changed what changed because of what you did? Who benefited? What did you learn? So those are things that they want to hear from you. Every experience has an impact story. So find yours and include it. And the next alphabet is letter D, which stand for destination. That means your clear future plan, right? And this is where so many SOPs fall apart and where you can stand miles ahead of your competitions. Scholarship committees are investing in your future, not just rewarding your past. They need to know with confidence that their investment will produce something meaningful. So you need to answer these questions directly in your SOP. 1. What will you study and why this specific program or institution? What will you do with this knowledge when you graduate? What specific problem will you return to address? What does success look like for you in 5 to 10 years? Be bold, be specific, and be credible. Upon completing my master's in public policy at the University of this, I plan to return to my country to join the Federal Ministry of Health Policy Division, where I will apply evidence-based framework to redesign the national primary healthcare strategy, focusing specifically on rural maternal health outcomes. So those are things that you can put in to encourage your reviewers to like, oh, this person knows what he wants, and this could be the outcome if we invest in this. So that is a destination. That is the plan. That tells a committee, if we fund this person, here is exactly where the impact lands. And the next letter is letter G, which stands for gap. And it is why you need this scholarship specifically. Now, this is a section most people skip, and it is a critical mistake. You need to address clearly and honestly why you need this scholarship and why this scholarship specifically is the right fit for you. Two things to cover here. First, why this scholarship? Does the scholarship values, network, or their missions or alumni community aligns with your goals? You have to show them you have done your research. Reference specific programs, mentorship opportunities, or their past scholars whose work you really admired. And you can say something like, for example, for Chevening scholarship, you can say like, the Chevening networks emphasize on connecting future leaders across sectors is directly aligned with my goals of building cross-sector coalitions for healthcare reform, something I cannot achieve through academic study alone, right? Something like that. And secondly, why now? The second question, what is the timing of this? What is the timing of this? Why is this the right moment in your career journey to pursue this opportunity? And this section shows the committee that you choose them deliberately, not just because they offer funding, but because they offer the right ecosystem for your specific growth, right? So, and that is for uh, letter G. So we'll go to letter E, which stand for end with conviction. Now, your final paragraph is your closing argument and it needs to land. This is not the place for I hope to be considered or thank you for your time. That energy is passive. That energy says you are not sure you deserve this. If you feel you deserve this opportunity, then you have to end like you deserve it. Your closing paragraph should try as much as possible to reconnect to your opening. Bring the full story circle. Restate your purpose. Remind them in one sentence who you are and what you are going to do. End with a quiet confidence, not arrogance, but certainty. End strong. End with conviction. Leave them thinking about you after they've closed the document, right? And that is how a good SOP document should be. Now, before you sit down to write your next SOP or statement of purpose, here are the practical rules you must follow. Length. Unless the scholarship specify otherwise, aim for about 600 to 1000 words. Never go over the word limit. Going under by small margin is fine, but going over, tell them you cannot follow instructions, right? And your tone also matters. You have to sound professional but personal, formal but human. Write like you are speaking to an intelligent senior mentor who respects both substance and authenticity. Then for your structure, use clear paragraphs with smooth transition, no bullet points in your SOP. This is a narrative document, not a list, right? For every scholarship, change at minimum the opening, the destination section, and the gap section. Make it feel written specifically for them because it should be, right? Most winning SOPs go through 5 to 8 drafts before even submission. And for your feedback, get at least 2 people to read your SOP before submission. Ideally, one person who knows your field and one person who doesn't. If someone outside your field understands and is moved by it, you've done something good, you've done a good job. Then you have to read it well. Not every time reading aloud catches awkward sentence. Yeah, very, very well. Repetitions and unnatural phrasing that your eyes skip over when you are reading silently. So these are practical tips for writing your SOP. And before I wrap up this video, let me quickly give you a word on AI and your SOP. I know many of you are using AI tools to help you write your SOPs, and I am not going to tell you not to use them because when you use them correctly, they can be helpful for structure and grammar. But here is a danger. If your SOP is written entirely by AI, if it doesn't sound like you, If it uses language that is too polished or that is too generic, if there is no specific detail that only you could have provided, experienced scholarship reviewers will definitely feel it. They may not be able to prove it, but they will feel that something is missing, which is not going to be good for you. The human truth in your story is what wins the scholarship. AI cannot manufacture that. Use tools to improve your writing, but make sure the voice, the story, and the soul of the SOP is entirely and unmistakably yours. So let's bring everything we have learned together in this full recap. Your winning SOP use the bridge method, and the B in the bridge stand for beginning with a bang, open with a scene, a moment, a hook that only you could write. Then letter R, which stand for roots, share the origin of your purpose, be specific, contextual, and personal. Then letter I, which stand for impact, prove you are already doing the work, use numbers, outcomes, and be specific. Then letter D, which stand for destination, paint a clear, credible, bold pictures of your future plans. Then we have letter G, which stand for gap. Explain why this scholarship specifically. Show them you choose them deliberately. Then we have letter E, which stand for end with conviction. Close strong, bring the full story full cycle, then leave them thinking about you. And remember the practical rules. Use the right length of letters. Tailor for each scholarship. Prepare multiple drafts. Read aloud and get feedback from people. That is your SOP formula for 2026 and beyond. Go and use it. I want to say one more thing before you go. Writing your statement of purpose or SOP is one of the most vulnerable things you will do in your scholarship journey. You are putting your story, your dreams, and your ambitions on paper and handing them to a stranger to judge. That takes courage, and the fact that you are here learning, preparing, and refusing to give up, that already tells me something about the kind of person you are, the kind of persons scholarships are made for. So write your SOP, write it with honesty, write it with specificity, write it with the full weight of everything you have been through and everything you are working towards, and then send it, because the world needs what you are building. If this video helped you, and I really hope it did, please give it a thumbs up. It is the simplest way to support this channel and help us reach more African students who need this guidance also. You can also subscribe so you don't miss our next video. See you in the next one. And in case you are currently writing SOP for any scholarship and you have any challenges, let us know in the comment section. Write to us, visit our website www.sprintremote.com, or you can reach out to us through our social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and the rest. And if you have any question, you have any challenges while writing your SOP, you can reach out to us through our email also, and our team are ready to help you. See you in the next one.